Hi guys, we are back again with another interesting episode of UAE Achievers Talk Show Season 2. And today in our show, we have a guest who is none other than Mr. Kunal Mehta, who's also called the KJ Insurance Guy, and he's working as the director in one of the very esteemed broker company. Hi Kunal, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Anil. Good to be here.
It is very interesting to have you on the show. I'll tell you for multiple reasons, but for now, I would want to understand from you how was your journey while you were growing up?
So, wow, go back a long time ago. And also, my family, my father actually came to the UAE in the 70s when Dubai was literally Bur Dubai and Dera. That was pretty much how the UAE was. But yeah, I'm a Dubai kid. I always say if they gave a passport, I'd be standing first in line. But on a serious note, no, Dubai's been great to me and obviously to you and a lot of other business owners and people who work here. I spent large part of my professional career working in a bank. I was with Rack Bank for over 17 years in multiple roles, doing product, insurance, investments. I was the head of mortgages, head of liability. So a whole host of stuff. The bank was really good to me and really helped me explore all the different facets of retail banking. In 2020, I had left the bank just before the onset of COVID. And I decided, well, funnily enough, a friend of mine, a school friend of mine who I grew up with, was running an insurance brokerage. And he's like, listen, join me. Don't go back into the workspace, join me. Obviously, COVID happened and we know how that affected everybody. But the thing I had set myself a goal when I joined him. I said, okay, if I can close a piece of business in the first 30 days of us working together, which is non-family or friend related, then that's a sign that I'm going to do this. Because if I can't do that even, then this isn't for me. I'm going to go back to a job like everybody else and continue my life there. And I think it was the 29th or 30th day where I closed that piece of business. And I remember both him and me went for that meeting. We walked out of there, like, okay, I guess we found your next career. I said, yeah, I guess we did. So yeah, and fast forward today, 4 years on, KJ, the insurance guy, is a year old now. And I feel I've always been in insurance. I feel like this business was meant for me and I love it. I really enjoy it.
Amazing. And you know what is different is because most of the times our guests are expats who are here, and you referred yourself as a Dubai kid. So I want to just go back a little bit more there and understand when you were in school, college. I mean, how was it? How was Dubai then and how is it now?
I mean, if you ask any of my friends or anyone who was from that era of the 80s living, being brought, I lived in Karama, and for us, the highlight of the week or a month was going to the Al Ghurair Center. That was like our Dubai mall. Going to Hardee's, getting a burger. Like it was a very simple life. Sometimes I wonder, I talk to my kids and I'm like, I don't know what we did in the summer. Like what did we do on our holidays? We didn't really go anywhere. We just kind of were there. We didn't have parks. We didn't have all these different activities that people have today that, within buildings or communities. We just took our bike, rode around, probably like a lot of kids in a lot of other cities. But Dubai was simple. Dubai was easy. It was a place where people say, you come to Dubai, 5 years, you make your money, you go. I have a different theory on that 5 years today has become 1 year. Anyone from anywhere in the world comes to the UAE for 12 months, most likely they will not be able to go back where they've come from. And that could be from anywhere, right? So that's what Dubai does to you. It has made it so easy, so convenient, such an amazing place to live in all its facets, right?
Yeah.
But here's the flip side. It's not easy to do business here anymore.
Yeah.
People think that it's easy because that's what they see from the outside, but it isn't. It's a competitive market. It's a limited landscape. No matter what line of business you're in, whether you're in events, whether you're in insurance, there's excessive competition, and you just have to do things differently. That's the only thing I can say. Like if you're just peddling the same product over and over again, sure, you may make some money, but that's not going to sustain.
Yeah. And very interestingly, you said that be it events or insurance, it's a tough thing to have a business over here, sustainably run it. For us, our strategies are maybe expanding, going outside, etc. How do you guys do it in insurance? Because let's address the elephant in the room. It is a cluttered market.
And
So,
it's a boring subject. So when I actually, it's a really good question. When I got into this business, my first thought was like, God, this is going to be boring. Talking to people about medical insurance, property, warehouses, all the things that no one wants to talk about. Like no one wants to talk to an insurance agent.
yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
You go to your doctor when you fall sick. You go to your banker when you have a banking issue. Like your insurance, you go when you have a claim. Like that's how it works. So, and you're right, there were, I think, last count, some 54, 56 brokers in the market. And I said, I'm the new kid on the block. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
There are people who've been doing this business for 25, 30 years, longer. We all know one of the biggest players in the market who we all hear every single day. So what can I do to make a difference? And to be very honest, COVID gave me the confidence to actually continue this business. And the reason I'll tell you, we were all stuck at home, right? We were all in our apartments, our houses, wherever, trying to do whatever work we could to make an income. And funnily enough, being new in this business, I spent so much time talking to so many people because that was one time when people started thinking about their medical insurance more than they did before. Before that, medical insurance was a cost. Companies just said, you know what, take the cheapest one, khali wali. We don't want to incur the cost. We'll pay the out of pocket, whatever we'll do, but we don't. COVID created a real reason for people to look at that. And the conversations I had with people, and I could really see that there was, I don't want to say a gap,
Yeah.
but there was definitely an opportunity to give service. And while it is to this day, it's very hard. I figured that would be my USP. Do something where so to give you a very simple example, let's say, I have a client, they've got 200 employees.
Yeah.
So I promised myself that I'm going to be available for, the CEO, all the way down to the driver, the laborer, whoever is in that company. Once they're my client, whether it's I'll joke at home that my work actually starts on a Friday at 5 p.m. and ends on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. because that's when people's kids fall sick, staff fall sick, people get injured, all this stuff happens on the weekend.
Yeah.
So being available for people at that time, when you're not telling them call a toll-free number or call a 800 number or something like that, really kind of elevated my business to a whole new level. Because then people, like I can tell you today, I know all my clients. I know them, they know me. Some of them don't even know the company I work for, but they know me.
Yeah.
And that I felt and it's hard because obviously as you grow, it becomes more and more difficult to manage. But I, to this day, do it because I feel that is the only major differentiator that they feel they can call me in their most difficult time. And hopefully I can try and help them. Yeah, so that's one of the key things I do.
That's amazing. And then, we said that insurance is a boring subject, and then you came up with the KJ insurance guy. I mean, to all the viewers out there, you must go and check out the page on Instagram. It's called the KJ insurance guy. But I want to understand from you, Kunal, at what point you thought I should start this? Because it's such a different idea, right? You can't imagine insurance and then a fun page attached to it. And so what was the thought process behind?
So I always, I don't want to say always, I would say probably 2 years into the business, I felt again, something needs to change. How do I get more clients? What do I do? And I always wanted to be in social media. When I was working, I never bothered with it, to be honest. When you have a job, you just kind of focus on your job. Never really posted on LinkedIn, didn't really do anything on Instagram, never even understood those tools, that they can actually be tools for as a business. And just to get followers and didn't do any of those things. So it was always there in my mind, but I could not kind of, if you ask me, put down on paper. So there were different ideas I used to write and just think, and nothing was kind of clicking. And again, I think when you look back at certain things that have happened in your life, my life, you kind of find, it all kind of built up. So funny thing is, it all actually started with a picture that my daughter took of me. I think it was just after I left the bank, and we were sitting at a cafe, and I was holding, an espresso or a coffee in my hand, and she took this picture, and for some reason on my phone, I had a cartoon app that converts, the pictures to cartoons, and I used to keep messing around with it. So anyone's picture I would take out. So I convert that to a cartoon, and it looked really nice. And hey, this is a very cool logo. So the moment I wanted to do an Instagram page, I'm like, that has to be the logo. It has to be that just works. It has coffee. It has, I love caps. I love glasses. It has everything I like in one frame. And, my, that time 5-year-old took it, so it makes it even more personal. And so once the logo was created, like, okay. But I always said that, it has to be me. I don't want to be another guy, with a suit and a tie and just there telling people about claims and deductibles. People don't. That's why people don't like it, right? So how do you break it down to a level where it's just a conversation like this?
Yeah.
But it has to be 15 seconds. It can't be more than that. Like my videographer who does all my recordings, the moment I would cross a minute, he's like, it's too long. We need to cut it down. So we'd end up going back and editing. And even the words I would use would try and make it as simple and as easy to digest. And then obviously you bring in, the stuff that's trending, and that all has something I'm learning. I don't think I've learned it, but I've started doing now. And it's great. People keep asking me the one very common question I get: are you getting business out of it? How is it helping your bottom line? And my answer to that is, well, one, have I got business out of it? Absolutely yes. Is it that every time I post a reel I get business? Absolutely not. That's not how it works. If that's how it was, every business would just keep putting out reels and getting business. But the visibility I have got from this, again, like I told you, I've lived in this country my whole life. For most people I know, they always knew me as a banker because that's what I was, right, for most of my career. So the transition, even though I transitioned, and yes, I changed on LinkedIn something saying, Kunal has now started a new position. It was still out of people's mind unless I went and told somebody.
Yeah.
Now I can tell you 9 times out of 10, if I walk into a social interaction with someone who I know, the first thing they, man, I loved your reel. Man, that video was so cool. I didn't know travel insurance covers this. Now, these are conversations which are not normal in a social setting, but they become because you're in people's environment, right, where people are. So I absolutely love it. It helps me kind of break away from the monotony of my work. But obviously it's tough. All the gurus, all the big players, on social media, it's just consistency, And I started seeing some of these really big guys. They've been doing this for 4, 5, 6 years, before probably we didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like Instagram was a business tool and not just a social tool.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time. So that being said, I still have my little 370 odd followers, but it's great because there's some videos I post get like 8,000 views. So it makes me feel really good that, okay, 8,000 people saw that.
Wow.
That's amazing, right? And I've started this new thing now where I go to cafes, again, because I love coffee. So I go to cafes, I promote the cafes, talk about obviously them, try and meet the owner, ask them their story, like how you're doing here, again, in a much smaller bite size. And then use the facility to talk about how we can insure it, what's covered. So it's a very good platform, a bit relaxed, but easy. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. But Kunal, insurance is also about lack of awareness, if I may put that out there. I mean, I remember myself a couple of years back, half of the words would just go above my head, and then I only knew few basic things: life insurance, medical insurance, etc. But it's such a deep subject, right? So how do you make sure you are, of course we understand about the KJ insurance guy, but I mean, how do you simplify it for people? What's your technique like?
So the reality is that the UAE, I mean, if you want to be not technical, but the UAE is a very underinsured market, and everyone's theory for that is that it's a transient population.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's a very old story. We're not transient anymore. Like I was
Yeah.
telling earlier, people come here, they stay. You go anywhere else in the world, especially you go to Europe, you go to the US, things like home insurance are a mandate. And you can't buy a house without taking an insurance. People insure everything and double insured, because that's just, the mindset is that way. We're not there yet. We're getting better. I think regulations are getting better. But generally my conversation with any new client is, tell me what problem you're facing. And let's discuss problems. Then we'll figure out solutions. Like any business, right? What does a doctor ask you when you're going, where's the pain?
Yeah.
What's happened? What did you eat last night? It doesn't start with, okay, let me, do a full X-ray scan and get into the whole medical jargon, right? So insurance is very similar. There have been times I have more often than not told a client that, listen, the product you currently have is great. Don't change it. It's not worth the time, money, effort that you'll put in to change it, and you won't get any additional benefit. And people and I'm amazed at how many times clients have come and say, no one has ever told me that. People tend to always say, no, but sir, I'll give you something better. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not looking to do business with you today, tomorrow, day after. I'm looking to do business with you for years.
Long
Right,
term.
right. And there have been clients I've been talking to for 2 years, and it takes time. Um, you know, 2 years in, they'll actually kind of test you out to see, are you really going to be here in 2 years? You know, today you'll sell me this insurance. What if you're not there? So 2 years in, when you've not even got any business from them and you're still in touch with them, you know, so I have a habit that once I get a client's renewal date, I keep it 45 days prior to, even if he's not my client, I'll just kind of drop a WhatsApp. You know, WhatsApp is lovely like that. People,
Yeah.
it's not evasive. People love communicating. It's quick.
Yeah.
People prefer it, if you ask me. You know, so many times there are clients I'm just communicating on WhatsApp because that's the mode they appreciate. So you do that. So yeah, I think just understanding where the pain points are, and if there are no pain points, then I said, well, then why are you switching? I have literally told them, if your objective, 2 days ago, on Friday, I was on a call with I got referred a client. She needs some help with something. We had a long conversation, and then she's like, listen, can you come see me? I'm, you know, talking to 3 brokers on a particular insurance I want. And I heard her out. I said, okay, what have they offered you? They've offered me this. I don't mind if you also give me. I said, ma'am, I'm sorry if you're already speaking to 3 brokers, I can tell you that between the options they've given you, they've pretty much given you you need to pick from that.
Yeah.
Adding a 4th or a 5th is just going to make you more confused, and it's not going to help any of us.
Yeah.
So if you want, I'm happy to even review those options for you as a third party, and you can still take it from them because they've done the work. You know, and to that she's like, no, that's fine, but let's meet up for a coffee because it's refreshing. People don't do that. Everyone's just trying to, you know, and you can't blame them, right? Dubai is not the cheapest place to live in anymore, right?
Totally.
I have a theory that every year you need to earn 10, maybe 20% more to live the exact same life.
Sure.
Incomes are not going up at that level. Expenses are obviously going exponentially, you know, be it school fees, whatever. I mean, we all know what our expenses are, right?
Yeah.
To have that same cup of coffee, to have that same meal, it's just costing more and more. So how do you make that money? But I believe that this works. This method works. It works for me. People appreciate it. Even if you don't do business with them, you kind of build a little bit of a rapport. You build a relationship that hopefully can then build into a business in the future.
Amazing. So, well, when Kunal Mehta is not the KJ insurance guy, what else he likes to enjoy?
So I actually love to run. It's my passion. And funny thing is, majority of my ideas for my reels and my videos actually come while I'm running.
Wow.
Even this, like preparing for this podcast, I was running and I was thinking, okay, what am I going to discuss with Anul? What are the answers I'm going to give to the questions she asked? Because it's great, right? You're by yourself. There's nobody around. You know, I generally listen to music while I'm doing it. And it's just a perfect time to kind of ask yourself questions and you have to answer because there's nothing else you can do. You know, you can't look at your phone. You're not driving. You're not watching TV or whatever. So it's been brilliant. Yeah. So that's my go-to thing. And it's great because it gets me to be outside, get some air, be fit. And and then obviously the usual travel, eat good food. I mean, that's pretty much standard. I think in Dubai, you can't not like those things and be in Dubai. Everyone in Dubai likes to travel. Everyone likes to eat, to try new restaurants, have coffee, try new cafes. But I think running for me has been my one, you know, I've consistently been doing it since, I think, 2016, 2017.
Wow.
Before that, I used to do gym on and off, but this is something that has kind of stuck with me. So I love it. I'm like, at least it's there and helps me stay fit. So yeah, that's
Amazing. Yeah. We met at a platform called BNI.
Yes.
And I think if we would not have met on BNI, I don't know where we would have met. So I really enjoy the beauty of, meeting business owners and you're doing so many roles. You've been in like leadership team before there. You're now the ambassador of the chapter that I am a part of. What is BNI for you? How did it help you? Tell us about that.
So I actually have a very funny story on how I joined BNI. So when I used to work, my partner was in BNI, while I was still working in that bank. And I used to keep joking with him, oh, you wake up every week, I don't know what these meetings are, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, just don't worry about it. Like, you're not a business owner, you don't understand the value of it.
Yeah.
Then I think his chapter closed or whatever, and then he left. Then I started working, and I was like, okay, I need to get more. I need to. So I have a goal for myself that every day I want to meet one new person.
Yeah.
Whoever they are, no matter where they are, what they're from, I want to have a conversation with someone who I haven't had a conversation with. And it could be a 2 minute, 3 minute, whatever, but a new connect. So anyway, I was toying with the idea of BNI. I remember it was Diwali in 2021. And a friend of mine who was in another chapter called me out and said, it was 10 o'clock at night. I remember it was a Monday. And it was the first Diwali party we were going for that Diwali week. So I was ready. I was ready in my Diwali outfit and ready to get out of the house. And he called me. He's like, listen, you want to come for a BNI meeting? I said, yeah, why not? Let's do it. He's like, well, it's tomorrow. And he put Amit on the line immediately. And he's like, don't worry, it's online. I said, listen, I'm going out now. He's like, yeah, but it's online, so don't worry. I was like, you know what, fine. Amit comes online and he's like, great, amazing. We're launching this new chapter called Gems, and you can come, and it's at the Grand Mercure. I said, it's at the Grand Mercure. He's like, yeah, we don't do online anymore. That's done. Now we're all face to face. I was like, okay, great. So I go for this Diwali party, commit to being somewhere at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm all stressed out. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to make it? Then like a lot of visitors who come to our meetings who commit and never show up. I thought, you know what? I won't go. What's the big deal? It's okay. I ended up getting home, I think at like 3 o'clock or something like that. Get home, go to bed. I'm like, you know what? I won't go. Forget it. But I said, let me make an alarm for 5 a.m. And because it's in the back of I wake up, I'm like, no, I've told someone, couple had invited me, I remember. Committed to a couple that I'm going to be there. I should go. Put on my suit. And again, banking mindset, tie, suit, everything like, proper, get there. And it was still a formation chapter. And I sat through it and I said, okay, this seems like something that could work. Visited another chapter which was already running, saw how they function, and then I just said, you know what, let's give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what? Okay, I'll pay this money and I won't get it. And I remember, it's a silly thing to do. I was like, oh, my first goal is to recover this money. Like a lot of members, right?
Like
I'm not even,
many of the members do that. Yeah.
Because, I'm paying this money, I want to get this back.
Yeah.
And obviously, I've made 10-fold, 100-fold that amount, right, over the years. But also, I think what has really worked for me is that I have put my hand up every time there has been an opportunity to do something. Because I feel, if you're in it, then you're in it.
Yeah.
If you're not in it, then leave, right? So it is something, I've been to other networking events, and not like they don't work. I just feel this really works.
Yeah.
You're in a room, you're with people who are business owners, all potential clients, all have clients who are my potential clients. And you're building this relationship. Like today, I've been wanting to do a podcast with someone for so long. And imagine, you called me. So it's just my KJ, the insurance guy, was formed by someone I met at BNI. There's all kinds of amazing relationships I've got through BNI. So it's just really a very, very strong business platform. I was on the radio because of BNI.
Yeah.
So it's amazing the opportunities that it gives for someone like me and for anybody who's trying to get more customers, do more business. It's a no-brainer. I still question in my head how people don't give it a shot. Like why not? If you're trying to grow your business, and some people don't need it, right? They're very busy and their plate is full, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us, the 95% of us, our plate is not full. We are ready to get more. We want to keep growing, and it's just the perfect setting for to keep meeting and keep engaging and keep learning. So yeah, I love it. I've connected with people in the US. I was looking at buying a property in the US, and literally I went in BNI, looked up city, contacted the guy, asked him how many people do they have in their chapter. We're speaking the same language.
Yeah.
And it was just so easy. I've connected with people in India. So it's just been a really, really amazing platform to be able to meet people and grow business.
Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, Kunal. But before I let you go, I don't want to let you go that easily, but any last words for our audience?
So I think all I can say is that, if I can help anybody with whatever insurance it may be it, one very common thing is people bring their parents to the UAE now, right? Post-COVID, a lot of people have been moving their parents. They're above 60. They have no idea how the insurance landscape works in that segment, right? Getting the visa, bringing them here, those are getting the ticket, that's the easy bit. So I'm happy to talk to people, explain to them what is available, what is not available, what to expect in terms of costing. It is pricey. Or even if people just need help, it's post the rains. There have been a lot of issues people have had. People's insurances haven't gone renewed. So yes, I sell insurance, but I sell it by helping people. That's as simple as I can say. So if I can help anyone out there, be it an individual, a company, insurance is going to be mandatory in Northern Emirates starting January 1st. So if you're a business in the Northern Emirates, that's Sharjah and beyond, all the way to Ras Al Khaimah, you need to make sure. So I'm happy to connect with you and help you, advise you. But yeah, basically just offer people, I guess, free advice, and regardless of where they take the insurance from, that doesn't matter.
It was absolute pleasure to have you on our show. I really enjoyed the conversation and lots of love and wishes for KJ the insurance guy on the way forward.
Thank you so much, Anu.
So guys, that was Kunal Mehta, KJ the insurance guy on Instagram. Go follow, check out the page. Trust me, you're going to love the content, and you can also add him up on LinkedIn in the name of Kunal Mehta. So that's it, guys. That's it for now. And we will be back again with more such inspiring entrepreneurs for you.